saw an interesting post by Scotty Siefert on the WT Facebook group regarding placing an Heir Apparent, which is a model of the King of Tone overdrive, after amp and cab blocks. I searched hard on YouTube, but the closest I got were videos of people putting boost, overdrive and distortion in the effects loop. There was nothing about placing overdrives at the end of the signal chain, so today, let's find out how it sounds. There are good reasons why this video hasn't turned up in the analog world of real amps and effects. For this video to be done in real life, you will need to mic an amp and a cab, route that to the mixing console, send that off to an FX loop to King of Tone, then route that back to the console and record that sound. And of course, you will need a King of Tone, which is infamous for its waiting list, and you need two if you want to run this in stereo. So I'm curious, are there King of Tone owners here? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious as to what's the hype with it. I've never played one before, so I can only guess what it does based on listening examples on YouTube and its incarnation as the Heir Apparent in the Line 6 ecosystem. Hence the great thing about Line 6 gear. You can put anything in the signal chain and it hides all the routing complexity to make it happen. And after playing with several amp, cab and mic combinations, here's what I've uncovered in using the Heir Apparent post-amp cab. Number 1, it erases some of the amp character from the signal path. As it is in real life with analog pedals, your tone will be most influenced by what's last in the signal chain. In this case, regardless of the amp I put in front of the Heir Apparent, it didn't change the character of the tone as drastically as it would without it. So instead of distinct Vox, Fender, and Marshall tones, we have Vox flavor Heir Apparent, Fender flavor Heir Apparent, and Marshall flavor Heir Apparent tones. In a way, this is how the Sansam GT2 operated. Using analog filters, the GT2 changed its amp characteristics depending on the switch positions, but it doesn't stray from its core sound. You know it's a Sansam GT2 when you hear it. This leads us into observation number 2. It becomes a final stage EQ. One of the reasons why there's that drastic character erasure is that the Heir Apparent is imparting its signature EQ curve onto the signal path. I couldn't find the specific frequency response curve of the King of Tone overdrive, but when I searched online for other overdrives, their frequency response curves indicated that there was going to be a gentle low cut, a mid bump followed by a sharper high cut. Here's what I found. The Heir Apparent applied a drastic low cut and high cut. The low cut control was useless below 100 Hz, and the high cut control was useless above 9 kHz. I didn't hear a pronounced mid bump, which could be the Heir Apparent being true to its word as a transparent overdrive that doesn't push the mids as drastically as a tube screamer would. By the way, if you're finding value in this video, do hit those like, subscribe, and bell buttons to let me know that this is relevant for you and YouTube pushes it out to more people to help my channel out. Thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate you. does this all mean for us? The most important application is for microphone choice and placement. I've always had difficulty in changing out microphone models because my preference for putting the mic right at the center and at 1 inch distance meant that ribbon and condenser microphone models will pick up all that bass from the proximity effect. I'll have to make the microphone selection, then move over to the EQ block or the M block to tweak the low end until I can compensate for the proximity effect. With this Heir Apparent trick, it really doesn't matter which microphone you choose. You'll be able to have the microphone characteristics without the proximity effect due to the inherent low cut. Additionally, it beefs up single coil guitars to make them feel larger. This is a bright and twangy Telecaster with single coil pickups, and I found the trick useful for making it a bigger, beefier version of itself, like I swapped them out for humbuckers. In conclusion, having the Heir Apparent at the end of the signal chain is a neat trick. If you've been struggling to get your single coil guitars to sound bigger in the mix, do give this a shot. So let me know in the comments once you tried this out on your guitar. Did it work? Did it not? Especially for those with humbuckers, I'm curious as to how this trick will react with an already beefy guitar. In the course of making this video, I created 3 patches with Vox, Fender and Marshall amp tones, and will make these available in my free pack, linked in the description box and in a pinned comment. For those of you who've downloaded it before, check your folder links for this free update. Do you like these short tonal adventures? I have a shorter one describing how I use EQ to push an overdrive pedal from crunch to lead levels of gain. It's a really easy trick to implement under 2 minutes, and it's a great way to squeeze more out of your signal chain without consuming DSP. I'll see you there. Until next time, I'm Justin, and I'm all about worship guitar.